everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Jewelry Canada. Today we are going to be making some brick stitch earrings, and we're going to start that in just a moment. Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Jewelry Canada. Today we're going to work on some brick stitch earrings. You are going to need some ear wires. You're going to need some 10-aught seed beads. Today I'm using periwinkle and silver. And I know they kind of look mixed up, but that's because I dropped my bead box a lot. Don't do that. It's not a good thing to do. You're going to need a beading needle. You're going to need some fire line, and I would go with 6-pound test. You could even go 5-pound because you want it to have a lot of sway. And so the less the test, the more sway you have. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so this is what I'm using. I buy it in bulk because I use so much of it. Okay, and you're going to need a pair of scissors. And I think that's it, guys. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to take about 3 feet of line. Okay, I'm just guesstimating. I usually do like 2 arm pulls. I'd rather have too much than not enough, right? Okay, so I did 2 arm pulls. I'm looking for my scissors. Okay, here we go. Got the scissors. Okay. Now I'm just going to thread my needle. Okay, and I'm just going to put it through one side. There you go. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start the brick stitch part. So I'm going to take 4 seed beads. Okay. I'm going to bring them about 1/3 of the way down. Okay. Then I'm going to go back up the first 2 seed beads I did. Okay. You see what I did there? And then I'm going to pull that. And this is what I have. I'm going to go back down through here. And I want you to see I'm holding my tail so that I don't get it sewn up in what I'm doing. So I went down those beads that I did. Oh, come on, camera. Don't be like that. I'm going to pick up 2 more beads. We're going to go. So our working thread is coming through here. So we're going to go into the top of those 2 beads. And pull it through. Sorry, it kind of pulled out of my hands. So then this is what we have. Now our working, darn it, my camera keeps coming out of focus. My working thread is coming out the middle there, and I want to move it down through those 2 beads. Okay. I want to keep this nice and straight. Okay, there we go. Okay, so my working thread is coming up through here. We're going to pick up 2 more beads. 1, 2. Come on, bead. There we go. And now we're going up through those last 2 beads we did. And it's not going to sit perfectly, but that's okay. I want you to continue doing this until you have 9 stacks. Okay? So I'm counting this as a stack, that's a stack, that's a stack, that's a stack. So we've got 4 stacks. I want you to keep going until we have 9. Meet me back. Okie dokie. So if you look here, I've got my 9. So my tail, my starting tail is on the left, and my working thread is coming out the top right here. So now we're going to pick up 4 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to bring that down. Now, we're not going into this thread. See the top here? There's thread. We're not going into that one. We're going into the next one, okay? So we're going to go in. And so we're going underneath. Can you see that clearly? Okay, so we're going underneath like this. And we're bringing our 2. Then we're going to go back through this one. And we're going to go up the first 2 beads. And you always do this at the beginning just to anchor it nice. Oh, go through the 2 beads, not the 1. There we go. We're going to go back down the second 2 beads and through that top stitch there. And now we'll come back up through it. And this is why you use the 6 pound, because you're going to have to go through these beads multiple times. So there, that's how you start a new row, okay, what I just showed you. So now we're going to pick up 2 more beads. 1, 2, and we're going to go to the next stitch. So see here, the next stitch. There we go, see? See where my needle is? I hope you can see that clearly. And we're going to pull through, and we go back up those 2 beads. Come on now. I'm working around a camera, so it's a bit of a challenge. Okay, up through those 2 beads. There we go. I want you to continue this until your last stitch, then meet me back. So I've gotten to my other end, and my working thread is coming out the top. So now, just like before, and I want to show you again because it's a bit tricky, we're going to take 4 beads. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to bring those down. Oops, sorry. Bring those down. We're not going into that first stitch. We're going into the second stitch. See, into the second stitch. We are going to go up through here. Okay, and then we're going to go down through these, and this is when we catch that first stitch. Okay, and then we're going up through the 2 beads, so we're where we need to be. Okay, and then see, you don't get any lines on the side. And there you go. Okay, and now we're going to work our way across. Okay, so do that. Get all the way across. Meet me back. So again, I'm done that row. So I want you to continue going back and forth like I've shown you until you're to your last 2. Okay, and then I want you to meet me back. So your last, because every row we've decreased by 1 stack. So when you're down to 2, meet me back. Okay, so I'm at 3 stacks. I told you go to 2 stacks, but I want to show you what we're going to do. So I should have told you to go to 3 stacks. Okay, so what we're going to do is for doing 2, we're going to do 6. Does that make sense? No, because you don't know what I'm doing. So put 6 beads on your needle. And here's what we're going to do. We're making the loop to attach our ear wire. Sorry, I keep going out of focus. There we go. Okay, so there's our loop. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go over here and we're just going to reinforce our loop a few times. So we're just reinforcing the loop. We're not going through the other stitches yet. Reinforcing this loop. Okay, so I went through it about 3 times. Okay, so now we're going to do our knots. So we're going to go down the first 2 on this side. Okay, pull through. Now we're going to go in between the beads. Ow! And we're not going to poke our finger because that hurt right away. Okay, so we're going in between our beads. We're making this loop. We're going to go through the loop once. We're going to go through the loop twice, same direction. And we're keeping that knot between our beads. We're going to pull tight. We're going to go down 2 more beads. So we've done 1 knot. Okay. When you pull your thread, you're going to feel a little pop, and that little pop is your knot going into your beads. If you don't feel a pop, it's fine. It probably still happened. You just didn't notice. Make a loop. Go through the loop once. Go through the loop twice. Pull. Make sure it's between beads. Pull tight. Go down the next 2 beads. I usually try and do about 3 knots. Okay. Here we go. Make your loop. Go through it once. Go through it twice. Pull tight. Go through some beads. You never cut where you knot. Never, 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 never cut where you knot. Okay, go through the next stack of beads. Now we can cut. Okay. There, you have made the top of your earring. You still have this nice long tail that we're going to use to make the dangly part of our earring. So you've got this part of the earring. I want you to pause the video and make another one. Because if you leave it till you're finished your earring, if you're anything like me, you won't want to make it. So pause here, make another one. Okay, so look at me. I got 2. I actually followed my own advice. That happens rarely. Okay, so now we're going to take our beading needle and we're going to thread it on the end of our tail. Okay. And my hands are dry. I didn't realize how dry they were until doing this video. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to start a pattern with the periwinkle and the silver, okay? So we are going to thread 10 periwinkle. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now we're going to go to the silver. We're going to take 1 silver, 1 periwinkle. So that's 2. 1 silver. But that wouldn't be silver. Sorry. Come on. 1 silver. So that's 3. 4. 5. 7, 8, 9, I'm trying to find my right silver. 9, and then we're going to end on a periwinkle, so 10 again. Okay, so silver, periwinkle, silver, periwinkle. So until we've got 10, bring those down. And now we're going to do 10 silver. I have 2 kinds of silver and white all mixed together. So we're going to do 10 silver, okay? 4, 5. Actually, to make that 3, wrong silver. 4. My goodness. Oh. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and come on. Jeez Louise. Don't drop your bead box, everyone. 10. Okay, so 10. So this is what we have. Okay, and now I'm going to take 1 periwinkle. Just 1. Okay, we're going to bring all that mess down. So now, periwinkle's on the bottom. I'm not going to go through the periwinkle, but I'm going to go through all the other beads. Okay. Sorry, I'm doing this around a camera. I'm just going to go off camera and do it, and then I'll come back. Okay, sorry, thank you. So what I did is I held this bead, the periwinkle at the very bottom, and I took my thread and I gently pulled it until it was a nice dangle, okay? You don't want it so tight that it distorts. Okay, so now I'm up at the top. Now I'm going to go through just 1 of the beads from our brick stitch. Okay, just 1. I'm pulling that through. I'm going to move over to the next bead and go down the next bead. It's a challenge. Challenge is real. There we go. And we're ready to start our next tassel, okay? So what you're going to do is we did 9 beads, correct? So we're going to do 10, 15, 20, 25, and then 30 periwinkles. So we only increase on the periwinkle, okay? So we did 10. Next time we'll do 15, and then the 10, and then the 10, and the 1. And we're going to do that. So 10, 15, 20, 25. We'll do that up to 30. And then we'll start decreasing. 25, 20, 15, 10. Okay? So I want you to do that and meet me back. Okay, guys, did you do like me and run out of thread? Okay, if you did, don't panic. So I did the tassel I was on. I finished it. I went up through the 1 bead that's part of our brick stitch. And then I'm going to just take my needle off that thread. I'm going to thread a new strand. Well, maybe. There we go. Thread a new strand. And then I'm going to go down into the bead beside where I finished. Because, you know, that's so easy to do. There we go. And I'm going to leave a bit of a tail. Okay, so here we go. See it? It's pulling, pulling, pulling. Okay, I'm going to leave that much of a tail. So let's see, how much is that? I'm going to say it's about, I don't know, maybe 3 inches, 4 inches. Okay, and I'm going to hold it with my finger while I do my next section, and then I'm going to finish off the earring. So don't panic if you ran out of thread. You know what we're going to do, because we don't want this to pull out, is we're just going to give it a very gentle, well, not a gentle, but just a knot, a little knot. Because we don't want it to pull out. Right, guys? So tie those two tails together. We'll hide the knot after. There you go. Okay, so see, I have a knot right there. We'll hide it after. Okay, keep going. Okay, guys, so I did all of them, and I'm coming out the first bead of that brick stitch. So now I'm going to go up into the second bead on the side there. Okay, and we're going to start making our knots. So just like before, we go into the side. We're not going through any beads, just catching the thread. We're going to make a loop, go through the loop once, and go through the loop twice. And then we're going to pull it tight. And then we're going to go up 2 more beads. Go between the beads, but catching the thread. We're going to make a loop, go through the loop once, go through the loop twice. Make sure it's between the beads where you want it. Pull tight. Go up 2 more beads, and I try and do 3. Oh, it might get tight here because I think we came down here, this side. So if it's getting tight, you can stop at 2 knots. I sell a lot of my work, so I always am paranoid about things coming apart. So, okay, so you see how my thread had jumped down some beads? So I put it back where I wanted it. Pull tight. Go through those few beads. And we can cut. Okay, now take your needle. We got to go back. Hopefully you didn't have to add more thread. But if you did like me, all we're going to do is we've already knotted this, right? So all we're going to do is we're going to take one end at a time, and we're just going to weave it through our beads. Okay. So I'm going to show you once I get my needle threaded. There we go. Okay. So see how my knot is right here? So I'm going to go through this bead, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a challenge because we've already gone through these beads a few times. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to go out of focus. So you want to make sure you're in a bead, not just in the weaving. Oh, don't drop your needle. Okay, so where am I? I'm right here. I want to go into this bead. And you can manipulate your work so you can get to the hole better. Okay, and then I'm probably going to go through a few beads. I'm not doing any more knots because we've already done a knot. If you wanted to, you could. It's up to you. You would use the same kind of knots. So there we go. I went through a few beads, and I'm just going to cut that thread. Okay. So you would do the other one the same way. I don't want to sit here and waste your time because this video has already run long enough. So now what you're going to do is you're going to attach your ear wire, which, there we go. So you see how my ear wire and our loop are facing the same way? Well, I don't want that. So there's 2 ways you could fix it. You can fix it with a jump ring. Or you can do what I'm about to do. So this is where you'll need your tools. Okay, so I'm going to take the ear wire and I want this loop to be like this. So a little bit at a time. Don't do the whole thing all at once because it'll snap. So very gently, a little bit at a time. And sometimes it'll still snap anyway. I'm just moving that loop. So see, we're not quite there. I'm just moving it so it's perpendicular. Is that the right word? So see, not quite. Just a little bit at a time. A little bit more. Okay, and then when you open your wire, you always open it sideways. I was holding it wrong. So open it sideways. So see how I've got the opening there. And then we are going to add our earring and then close that up. Ouch. And there you go, guys. So of course that thread would be hidden, right? But there you go. Oh, that's not quite right. There we go. There you go. Isn't it a beautiful earring? And it flows. Look at how nicely it flows. So that's it. So make sure you check the description. I put all kinds of goodies in my description. I have links to other earring tutorials. I also have links to my Etsy store that has earring display cards and necklace display cards, all that kind of thing. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Have a good day. Bye now.